Good afternoon. It is 2:12 p.m. It is March 9, 2026, and it's Monday. Um, for reflection of this week, I haven't written much. Haven't felt like it, but I'm gonna maybe today. If not today, I'll try when I have some free time this week. But I've been meaning to get back to it, but it's one of those things that I'm having like a writer's block, and none of these stuff that I'm writing really is flowing, you know. And it's one of those things that I have an idea of what I want to do, it's just not being executed correctly. So it is what it is. Um, Other than that, I read. Do I have it? Let me go grab it. I'll be right back. Other than that, I read this book. Um, it is um, The Art of War. The Art of War, yeah. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu, yeah. Butchering his name. But yeah, it was supposed to be about military and warfare. It's a lot of boiled down, very general kind of like stuff that when you hear, you're like, oh, it makes sense. Like I could have came up with it, or you already kind of had an idea that was important. But it is more refined just to the essence, right? And it can be reused. A lot of the stuff can be reused in different fields, like your job or anything like that, right? Which is always good, right? You can take that and go into your career or something. Um, but yeah, it's a good book. I'm never. It's like really short read. If you skip all of the extra stuff that they added on there, the it's like 5 chapters, 6 chapters, 5 6 chapters of just kind of like setting up who Sun Tzu was, where he was from, the period of the time. Was he even around the period that they claim he was? Was he actually a general? All that stuff, right? Which I'm just like kind of, it adds context, but it doesn't really do anything for the actual content itself from the original. So that being said, right? That being said, it's I think I learned a lot from it. There's a lot of stuff that I need to reflect on, and then it would just help me really just get through in life. Um, Other than that, um, all the books and stuff like. Okay, so I'm trying to juggle a lot of books, and that's it's starting to feel more like a chore than something that I'm enjoying. Right? It's just you know one of those things. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna cut back and I'm gonna go through either one, finish the Magic Mountain or finish the Band of Brothers, right? Completely, right? Just focus on that book, completely finish them, and then once that's done, then I'm down to just Don Quixote and another book that I am I choosing, whether I guess it could be the Magic Mountain or the Band of Brothers again. Okay, what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to finish Band of Brothers and the Magic Mountain, right? One after another by focusing on only one book at a time. Once those are done, right, then I can focus on Don Quixote and maybe potentially Les Miserables. But to be honest, I'm not. I don't know if I want to read it. To be honest, it's a big chunky book. It's a big commitment, and you know, I just don't know if I want to just go through one of those. Right? Maybe I'm starting to become burnt out from constantly trying to push myself to just read more and more books, which I like reading, but it's like I said, it's starting to feel like it's something I have to do, not something that I want to do, right? And I don't ever want to do that with like a hobby. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. Um, Other than that, it's gonna be it's gonna be a well, I guess I'm gonna have a lot of free time, to do other stuff, focus on more stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be I guess a lonely week. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. Anyway, um, other than that, it's yeah, just other, just the same stuff. I did buy. I bought 5 pounds worth of gummy bears, and they're inside of this container. You can't tell they're all the different flavors and stuff, but you can't really tell because the camera is black and white again. Tried restarting it, tried updating the drivers. It's still doing this. I don't feel like trying to troubleshoot it. It's not that important. Anyway, okay. Other than that, it will be okay. First, something that's been bothering me going through and seeing my videos is I keep on repeating or whatever, and I know how not to do it. Right? I just instinctively do it whenever I don't. There it goes again. Whenever I do not tailor my sentences or think them through beforehand, which is not something that I think is ideal, right? I was trained or I took a couple classes where I could learn how to speak correctly and enunciate and keep my sentence structure from flowing using silence instead of ums or us, right? Or using other words to move the sentence forward. And I think I need to practice that some more because I lost I lost my edge on that. And it's something pointless, but something to consider. Other than that, at work, man, it's something, dude. It's like you go in and then they just don't know where to put me, I guess. And it is frustrating because I have made it clear from the very beginning, right? From the very beginning, before I started actually working there the first day, I made it very clear of what my preferences were to make it, more easy for them to find where to put me. And it's something that is really can get, a little bit frustrating, dude. It's it's like it's like I've also made it very clear that I separate my personal life from my work life, but I guess the people there don't like to do that, and it's brother. I'm like keep it professional, but anyway, you know, I'm a one person at a time kind of dude, and right now I'm already head over heels. So yeah, nobody else is gonna gonna kind of like come in and try to mess that up or anything like that. Nope. So yeah, but there's quite a few people that dude ever oh man, double the trouble now. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say is double the trouble now, dude. It's the same stuff that I had to deal with some other places, and I'm just I'll be professional, I'll be kind, I'll be like talkative and stuff like that. That does not mean that I'm trying to get with you. That's all I'm trying to say. And it's yeah, yep. Anyway, it's nothing something that I can't really do anything about. So yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty sure yeah, that I'm unless that the person I'm trying to talk with, unless that they decide that they're not interested, or we end up figuring out that it's not gonna work out or anything like that, mutually. Yeah, there's no chance in hell that I'm messing that up. So yeah, they need to stay back. But yeah, anyway, I'm pretty happy. I just hope that, because the person that I'm trying to get with, they have options. There ain't nothing about that, and I know they can, have, you know whoever they want whenever they want. So I'm not gonna mess that up, like, yeah, it's one of those deals, right? Like, if they want it and I want it, then hopefully we can make it work. Everybody else not even on the picture. Well, let's see, right? Anyway, I'm already talking too much about that mushy personal stuff. Let's keep that off. Anyway, what time is it? It's 10 minutes, 10 minutes into the video. I think that's a good place to stop. Oh, no, no, no. I wanna bring up something. So I had a crash yesterday with my Reach, not my phone. So I was gonna put the shrink wrap on top of, there's like this metal ceiling, right, that has cutouts on it. I will put the shrink wrap on it, and the shrink wrap went straight through it, down, right, and then it hit the secondary control handle. There's a handle, right, so that you can drive backwards, and then there's another one, the main one. It hit the secondary, and I didn't think nothing of it, right? But apparently, when it hit it, it broke it. I didn't see it, so I grabbed the shrink wrap. I put it somewhere else. I stepped on the dead man, right? I stepped on the dead man pedal, which it's like the brake, right? As long as you're stepping on that, you can go back and forth. If your feet are off of it, it locks up. It's brake, right? That's the way that it works. I stepped on that, and since the handle was broken, it was accelerating backwards. So it accelerated backwards, and then I tried to stop it, but it crashed into the metal beam, into the yellow metal beam, and there goes the again. It crashed into the metal yellow beam. I tried to stop it. I turned off the Reach as soon as I noticed that that I was able to react to it. But it was something that yeah, just unavoidable. And because of that, not really because of that, but let's say because of that, but it's not really that. Today, they got me off the Reach somewhere around 8 in the morning, right? Before lunch, which is somewhere around there, 8. And then they told me that basically clean the aisles and stuff like that. And I know that they did that with try to do this slick stuff, right? Right, and it's because they, like I said, they don't seem to know where to put me, and it's very frustrating because I talk to everybody, and and I'm respectful to everybody, and depending on what kind of if somebody speaks to me, like loud, or whatever, right, with like a lot of bravado, I speak back the same way with bravado. If somebody speaks to me very calm or quiet, I'll try to match their energy, right? I'll try to do the same, right? But it's been one of those things that people have not, they haven't been able to figure out where to put me, even though I try not to cause issues. It seems that just from me, I don't know, man. It seems that they just, my presence was bothering people, even though I was very clear from the beginning, about my preferences and all that stuff. But either way, so they used the Reach truck kind of like an excuse, but really that's not it. And they still haven't even gotten me back in the Reach truck, which maybe tomorrow they'll have me cleaning again. But they had me cleaning aisles, which I don't care. I'm still getting paid for it, right? But it is frustrating in the sense that I'm like I've been very very honest, like, hey, I'm here to work, if you talk to me, I'll talk to you. If they don't want me to talk, I won't even talk. If they tell me, hey, just do your work, don't talk to anybody, whatever, I won't talk to anybody. That's fine. Like, I've always been very, I guess, self-dependent on myself. I don't really need human interaction like that. But it is what it is. But yeah, I know that they put me to clean, and I think I think that they've finally accepted that, what I said was, what I meant at the very beginning, which is like, dude, like, but we'll see. Hopefully tomorrow they'll just finally put me somewhere, and if they put me somewhere, and or whatever, or people start being like, yeah, whatever, he's just here to work, then that'll be awesome. So freaking awesome. But yeah, that's about it. Funny story that I crashed, and then they had me. I mean, I've been recertified. They put me on the recertification test. I passed it, but they haven't put me back on the reach. So I don't know where they're gonna put me. I don't know what if they're gonna put me on on left or right side of the warehouse. I don't know, and I don't care, dude. I'll work anywhere. I'll work with anybody. Like, dude, it's I don't understand, man. Like, I was raised to be good, like, what's it called? I was raised to be good to everyone, respect to everybody. But I don't know. Anyway, that's it for this week. Hopefully I'm not sounding too negative in this video. So I try not to be, but sometimes it's good to vent. Yeah, see you guys next week, and let me end the video